afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending where you're at, folks. This is your man, always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, we had a big weekend. We had the New York Pro, and also there was in right next door to me is South Carolina, where they had the Nationals for the Junior USA's. So congratulations to the new pros. So we got some new pros coming up. So anyway, folks, this lovely lady here before me, just about, well, I'm gonna say about a month ago almost, qualified for the 2024 Olympia. It's going to be the 60th Olympia. It's going to be in Vegas. They got it back in Vegas. So, and she's very, very excited, proud of herself. We have here the lovely Mrs. Natalie Ray Wolfe. She is an IFBB physique competitor. She can compete with quite a lot. And also, when I went my first bodybuilding show, that was Savannah in 2022, she was there competing at the Italy American show. And Savannah's gone, so, but we'd like to welcome Mrs. Wolfe, and we'd like to thank her for her time. And also, this is a question I often ask you ladies who are in the sport of bodybuilding. What got you started in this sport, as I call it, muscle and masculinity? Please share.
So back in 2004, it was my sister and I living in an apartment. She was more of a runner, and then she would do like workout videos and stuff, but she used to get a subscription to Oxygen magazine. And one day I just picked it up, and I was obsessed with the models they had in that magazine. It was like nothing like I had ever seen in like Muscle and Fitness or all of those Shape magazine back then and stuff. They had muscle, and I thought it was so cool. I thought they looked so awesome. And in the back of those magazines, they used to do coverage on shows. So that's kind of how everything started. I got super interested in that. I built a workout room out of one of the bedrooms that we had. We had a 3-bedroom apartment, so one of the rooms I made into a workout room. And I worked out of that bedroom for my first show. I probably shouldn't have did the show, but my goal was not to place last, and there was 4 of us. I took third, so the obsession started at that show. I ended up doing a show in December of 2005, but I didn't even really start working out until 2004, late 2004. So, but Oxygen magazine is literally why I pretty much wanted to start working out, because the models that they showcased in the magazine.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of people get into the sport of bodybuilding because of, by accident. Sometimes the typical story is like, oh, you look like you could be a bodybuilder. And that's usually one of the most popular ones where I do these interviews. And Oxygen, if anybody knows, is a magazine that's really a popular fitness magazine. Me, I didn't read it too much. I was more of a fan of like muscle fitness, Ironman, Flex, muscle development. I used to love those magazines, but the last few years they have pushed out the women out of those magazines, And what was that feeling for you when you first competed on stage?
I absolutely loved it. Like, my parents thought it was great. Like, I was nuts. They're like, you're going to get up in front of a huge crowd in one of those little itty bitty bikinis. And I was like, because that's totally not my personality. But yeah, I did. And I felt like on stage, like, it just makes me feel alive. And I fell in love with it. And even now, like, here we are, 19 years later. I always tell clients that come to us, like if it's their first time competing, I always tell them, you are either going to love it the second you step out on that stage, or you are going to be like, none of this was worth all the dieting, all the training. They're either going to love it or hate it. There's no in between. That's what I always tell first timers. You'll know. If you end up loving it, you know that you're in it for the long haul. So,
yeah, it's tough, especially for a woman in this sport, because the developed muscle to grow. Also, a lot of people don't say there's a lot of sacrifice you have to make as an athlete in this sport: time, money, your body, your mind. I mean, the stories I've heard. I mean, it's tough.
it's
And
definitely not a cheap hobby.
no, it's not either. I mean, compared to the men's division, all they got to wear is banana hammocks and a pair of board shorts. But you ladies, it's not just just the cost of food is one thing. Then the travel, because we talked earlier how traveling shows, they just put the list for the Ultimate Classic, and we thought we might see more competitors this year because it's kind of like we were talking about this on my channel where it's been kind of low numbers.
I know. I have no idea what's going on. Like, I just feel, I honestly have no idea. I don't know. It's,
Mhm.
I have different scenarios in my head of maybe why, but, a couple things. Like, I thought maybe people didn't want to do Pittsburgh because they thought Natalia was doing it. And now that you have to win a show, they figured I'm definitely not going to win that one. You know, I don't know. But then she didn't end up doing it. I didn't care either way. Like, I think the Pittsburgh Pro, like when I did it in 2022, I loved the show. I think it's awesome that all the top people go there. You know, it's Jim Mannion's show, so like it's a big production, and it was a great show to do. So I wanted to do it again. I didn't care if Natalie was in it or not, you know. But I thought maybe that was a reason why, or you know, maybe now that it is you have to win a show, people are just trying to improve to get to that physique of winning. You know what I mean? Like maybe they're decided to take the year off. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just crazy because the numbers have been so low. And I just don't want to see the division like die. You know what I mean? Like we saw it with women's bodybuilding, and sure, Jake Wood's a huge reason why that's back. But it's like I don't want to see the women's physique division go away. And I'm, you know, Jack Tatone already made a post about St. Louis because there was only 5 of us. You know that he's not going to have it next year for women's physique. He's going to choose another division. And it's like, will Pittsburgh do the same because there was only 3 of us? I don't know. I hope not. It sucks because I understand where the promoters are coming from. I understand that they have to pay that sanction fee. And when the competitors don't show up, why would they pay that sanction fee? You know, if they're only going to get 3 people on the show.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, really. I think like with Jack Tatone, he said also, you have at least 8. He runs both the St. Louis, Omaha, the Ultimate Classic, and I know he has at least 8 competitors for the Ultimate Classic coming up. He's going to wait and see on how Omaha is going to do because you know I think it's more into the close to the summer season. I think by then you have ladies be ready by that time.
Yeah.
And you know I think so St. Louis possibly because now you Marika and some of your ladies were the last competitors that year. I remember when the Omaha women's bodybuilding that was Danielle Willis, who I got the pleasure to interview a while back. That was the year when she went to Olympia. And it's just, you know, I think probably might even replace it with the popular division like either wellness or probably put figure in its place. Even figure girls on the shows.
Well, and you know, that was my pro debut back in 2015 with St. Louis Pro. There was 24 of us. Like, there was 24 girls in women's physique. Like, that was a big show. You know what I mean? It is just, I think just in general, all the shows, I feel like the numbers have just gone down, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Yeah. And I get it. Like, you know, when the point system was around, there were some girls that like thought they had a better chance to rack up the points. You know what I mean? Because I mean, that was even me in 2022. That's why I ended up doing Savannah, to try to get more points to stay in that top 3, because I was in that top 3 almost all year until like, you know, a few weeks before that cutoff date. Then I got bumped out of that top 3 point standing, and then they took that away last year. So that's why I took off to improve, to try to come back this year to win a show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Hopefully the main reason is because nobody wanted to do early shows and then have to diet all year for the Olympia. You know what I mean? If they won, and that more people are just going to end up doing the later shows. So we'll see. But I also thought Pittsburgh would be bigger because Sarah puts up that prize money. You know what I mean? The prize money was bigger in Pittsburgh. So who wouldn't want to do that, you know, to try to get more money? I don't know. It was crazy.
I think the prize money for Pittsburgh was $20K.
No. Well, total, no. 5. It was 5 for first, I think 3 for second, and then 2 for third. When usually it's 2, 1, 500.
All right.
You know what I mean?
I know she put 15,000 for Texas.
Yes. Yeah. Texas is the biggest, I think, prize pocket.
Yeah. I know. I remember that year that Natalie won. She's winning Sarah's money. So.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I think Natalia actually, I don't know if I'm going to say that I might be wrong, but I thought she put up the money for the Triple Dynasty for women's physique. I don't know if that's true or not.
I think she did. She might have. Because she was there. You know,
for women's physique for Triple Dynasty. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to start with that show. I hate flying to shows, though, and that was one of the main reasons I didn't do it. I obviously have to fly to Vegas now, so that I'm not driving 27 hours. So
me personally, I'm like Mr. T. I ain't ready for no plane, fool. I remember I had some ladies who would say, George, you want to come to the show? I got a show coming up. You want to come to? Where is it? Where it was like this lady who I know her name is Jada. She told me she was doing Indiana Pro. I said, George, you gonna come to Indiana? I said, well, if I can get a train, I would say, well, George, you may have to fly there. No.
For me, it's because I pack too much crap by like a million bags, and then I'd have to pay for that. So for the Olympia, I'm going to have to really buckle down and pick only necessities.
Yeah. Oh, we got some people in here. Oh, we got some right here. Some people here. We got here a man here. My brother. It's my man. KLDA the Wanderer. He says, "What's going on?" You know. He said. And also he says, "I like her arms." He decided. Also, he says, it's always the magazines that do it for people to work out or just admire bodybuilders. All right. Yeah, that's true. That's either way. And also, he says this. He says, yeah, the men seem to like they get more attention for some reason. Well,
and I think because honestly, you know, these show promoters aren't really the ones putting up that prize money. They get the sponsors for them, I thought. You know what I mean? So like, I just think the men are, yeah, sure, that's who the sponsors are wanting to see. You know what I mean? They're the ones putting up the money for that. It'd be nice. And that's another thing too, like, obviously, if women aren't competing, who's going to want to sponsor Women's Physique? You know what I mean? Like, who's going to want to put up that money for the prize money to be a sponsor for that if we're not competing? That's why it's like so important that we get out there, you know?
Yeah. Because like I said, it's tough because you know what? When Physique started, I was a big fan of it. I called it watered down women's bodybuilding, you know, and since doing content interview with ladies like yourself in this division, it really has grown. And I've seen that the fact that I think because like how women's bodybuilding started. You go back to Richard McLeish and Angela Langers and Corey Evensons, Amanda Murray's, and you know Iris and them. The vision started to meld closer to women's bodybuilding. Like you just saw Ashley Jones just won New York Pro.
Right.
She was figure. She earned a pro card as figure competitor, just like Natalia. Then she moved up to Physique. Now she's in women's bodybuilding, and now she's going to the Olympia.
Right. Yeah.
And
she definitely has the genetics for women's bodybuilding.
yeah, I was like when she posted this. This is something. So she posted this when she was on her IG, and first word came out of her mouth is like,
yeah,
damn.
I know.
I mean, I feel like Ron Simmons from WWE said, damn. I mean, holy hell.
That's the most conditioned I ever seen her. You know, she's the one. So I lost to her. I took second in Chicago. She took first in 2022. That's the only time that I ever competed with her. But man, I've been a fan ever since. Her shape is just unreal. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm a fan of hers too. Also, I think she has a great look to her. I know they talk about she might be a real threat to the champ, but I'm a fan of Andrea.
I love her. Yeah,
it's going to be tough to beat that level of muscle. I mean, it's tough, you know.
She's got a lot of density in her back too that I don't know if Ashley has, but you know, I don't know. It's going to be yeah.
Also, and you were at Pittsburgh, and they made an announcement that they're going to do a extravaganza for next year. So it's going
to be huge, like an expo and everything. Yeah, and they're moving it, I think, like down further than where it was because it was at like the Hilton downtown Pittsburgh. The convention center is right there. The hotel's attached to it. Like that's where it was in 2022. I think they've always had it there. So like it's going to be at a whole new venue and everything. And they're going to make a big expo out of it. So it's going to be even bigger, which is crazy because Saturday night's always huge because you get the top 10 males are on stage, you know, guest posing. So they bring a big crowd in. It's going to be cool.
Yeah. Cause I think it might be some a little bit competition. Like, you know, as you know, the Arnold, he doesn't know how to have women. Right, he kicked out the Arnold. You know, I used to be a big fan of Arnold. When I grew up, we used to watch the movies and stuff. But then doing this content, I hear a lot of stuff about him. And then stuff that people don't understand. The fact that, you know, I know Natalie was the last winner for Women's Physique. Then I think I forgot who was the last winner for figure. I think it was Jessica Reyes Padilla. And I know Iris was the last winner for women's bodybuilding. That's been 10 years. And you feel the same thing like when women's bodybuilding, your shows are getting smaller and smaller. As you know, now you're not in St. Louis anymore. You have shows like the Puerto Rico Pro is gone. Europe Championship over in Spain is gone. They moved women's bodybuilding to the Imperial, but still, you know, you feel like it's getting small by bit by bit.
Yeah, I didn't want. I ended up purchasing a live stream, or no, was it free for the Arnold? I think it was free, and that's
free.
Watch it. That's the only reason I watch it because I told my husband I wasn't about to. I didn't want to support the Arnold because we weren't there. I didn't want to pay for it, and now because it was free. That's why we ended up watching it because I love fitness. I still love fitness. Fitness is like I wish That is what division I would probably do if I had any kind of dance gymnastics background, but I don't. I'm very uncoordinated. The routine part of women's physique is like I get the most nervous about all the time. I get anxiety about it because I'm not good at making that up. I'm not a good freestyle poser. That is the hardest part for me. It's kind of nerve wracking to do a routine because I don't like to just go up there and wing it either. You know what I mean? You definitely want to have a routine plan. And then I always end up screwing it up, even though normally the crowd wouldn't even know that I screwed it up, but in my head I know I screwed it up. But yeah.
Yes, it's tough because was it that last Olympia? Missy Trescott, she tore her knee up.
That was so hard to watch too.
Yeah.
Like I just felt so bad. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine being on that stage and then getting hurt and you can't finish the show. Like
yeah, I think Whitney Jones, she pulled out her shoulder, and then also at the Arnold, Tamara Vaughn, she just had an incident with her whole face was scraped up. I mean,
oh my god, I don't remember that. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I think I know I was like she was like posted. She posted on her IG. I think I seen the link where she was sitting, she was talking, and about she just I think she was doing pretty good, but then she had an incident. They might have just took the camera off of it, and you can see her.
Oh, so that we can see it. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. We got some comments here. This is from my man KL the Wonder. He says, "How many shows you compete in this year?"
So this year I did have 4 planned. I did St. Louis and then I did Pittsburgh, and I was taking it show by show. I sent in those 2 contracts early though, so even if I had won St. Louis, I still would have did Pittsburgh because I don't like sending in a contract and like taking it, telling them I can't do the show to take it back. So I didn't send the contract in. I was planning on doing Omaha if I didn't win a show yet, and then Chicago. I was going to end with Chicago. Normally though, 2022 was the first year that I ever did more than 2 shows in a year, and I ended up doing 4 that year. That's why I dieted so long. Savannah, my body was fighting me for like a month before Savannah. It was a rough prep because I dieted all year, and I'll never do that again. I started dieting in January, and I went all the way through like end of October, beginning of November. Yeah, it was rough. So that's why this year we chose to do the earliest show and just go to July then and stop in July. You know what I mean? Instead of dieting the whole year. I mean, like I said, because I won Pittsburgh, I'm not doing Omaha, and I don't have to worry about taking my contract, telling them to take the contract out because I didn't even send the contract in for that or Chicago. It's just that they were just planned just in case. So yeah, that's why I hope Omaha's big or more numbers, at least 10 or something,
Yeah,
because it's the same weekend as Toronto, so it's like
we got to flip a coin. So it's closer because you're in Michigan. You're a little closer to Canada, but you're not too far from Nebraska.
Yes, yeah, but Omaha too. Omaha was 8 hours, and I think Toronto was like 5.5 when we did it. I did Toronto in 2018, I think it was. And I loved the show. It was pretty awesome, but I don't like that it's on a Sunday. That's the only reason I wasn't going to do it this year. I was going to do Omaha instead because I did love the venue and the show was nice, and Jack and Ann put on good shows. So I was planning on doing Omaha instead of Toronto, only for that fact that Toronto's on a Sunday. It throws everything off. I got to be at work on Monday. I went to gym, so I got to be here Monday.
I can tell you, I used to hold 2 jobs, and one of my jobs, my first job when I was a kid was I worked at a gas station until I was I was 16 till I was 30 till this place closed down. I used to work in textiles, and and then I had a job. I worked at night. And it was a gentleman's club, and sometimes we see. It was in South Carolina. South Carolina, you can't sell alcohol after 2 o'clock. So we close the club at 2. So I get home, be already in the 3 in the morning. So I can say you don't want to work on Sundays. Here we got some comments here. It's from a man KLA. He says this. He says, "Would you want to move up or move down in another division like bodybuilding or figure?" So as you said again, the divisions are starting to meld a little bit. Even the figure girls looking like more like you saw Sharonica. She just came back and she had a great physique. She looked pretty good, very classic line from she's a multi-time Olympic competitor.
I'm such a fan of her physique. Yeah.
Would you consider going up or going down for you, or you staying where you're at?
I started off in figure, and then I moved to women's bodybuilding. This was in 2009 is when I debuted in women's bodybuilding. And women's physique wasn't out yet. I did really good as a female bodybuilder, Like, I placed top 5 at every national show I did. I took second at my very first one in Vegas, and at USA's, my very first national show, I took second. Like, I did really good because my conditioning was always spot on. It's just I was never big enough. And I personally am happy with the size I have now. Sure, I'd like to get my legs to grow a little bit bigger, and my back is always could always improve. But as far as like adding a lot of more size, that's not what I want. So, I mean, unless the judges say you belong in women's bodybuilding at my size now, I wouldn't do that. No, just because women's physique, like once women's physique came out, my husband is literally the one who said, this is going to be it. This is going to be the division you're going to turn pro in. And I did one show and we won. So, so this is my home. That's what I feel like.
So you mentioned your husband. How long y'all two been together, you and your husband?
So we met in 2007, and we started dating in like 2008, early 2008. And yeah, we got married in 2012. We got engaged after like 6 months. And then we just got married in 2012. So I'm originally from Chicago. So I lived in Chicago my whole entire life. And then I didn't move to Michigan until 2011 because this is where he's from. So yeah. And he took over my diet basically in 2008. And he's been my coach ever since. Yeah.
That's good. You know, it's good.
It works out. He sees me every day. You know what I mean? It's super easy. There's some people who like can't do that. I don't know why. It's tough for them, but it's super easy for me. You know what I mean? Because it's like he sees me every day. He can make changes daily if he needs to. You know what I mean? And he knows how hard he sees me in the gym. He knows how intense I work out. You know, he doesn't have to worry about that. It's just it works for us. I'll just say that it works very well for us.
Well, sometimes it's depending on the couple. Sometimes I know couples that the husband is the coach of the wife, and sometimes the wife is the coach of the husband. Sometimes it works. That sometimes it's a hit or miss.
Yeah.
And I know, like I said, that he's your coach, mainly your coach. And he's working with your nutrition and your workouts like that. And what's your workout routine like for you during the day when you're getting ready?
So he's never ever done my training. I've always done my training. He's just my like diet, cardio, supplement guy. He's the one who controls all that. As far as like my split, you're saying workout wise?
Yeah.
So right now I actually just changed it. I started like this week, 20 weeks out, a new program for the Olympia because I am going to try to get my legs up a little bit. The feedback that I got from Sandy in Pittsburgh, she didn't tell me that I needed to, but I want to try to bring my legs up and look a little wider if I can. So I'm going to prioritize legs 3 times a week, and then I'm doing upper body twice a week because my upper body is like there. I don't need to grow anymore in my upper body. So I'm going to just try to maintain and then get these legs to grow a little bit.
Yeah, leg day is the worst for any like the episode of I always say it's my favorite episode of Chappelle's show when Charlie Murphy meets Rick James and they go back to Eddie's house and he messes up his couch and Eddie and Charlie beating his legs and that's leg day for you crawl on the ground and say, "What are my legs, Eddie Murphy?" It's tough. I mean, and you have more of a slender look. I think more like close to the classic look of women's physique. But like I said, that's important. The judges' critique is always the thing that a lot of ladies fall back on. I think it can hurt or hinder some competitors because sometimes, especially, they want you even to tell the girls in figure to grow bigger, get more lats and like that. And then, when you grow, you just can't stop growing.
Right, I know, and it's hard. Like, I never see what I look like when I look at myself. You know what I mean? Even in Pittsburgh, like until I saw the videos that people were posting or the pictures, I was like, holy crap, that's what I look like up there. Because like I don't see that. This is why I would never be able to coach myself either. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how Michaela Aycock coaches herself because I would never be able to coach myself. I do not see what other people see. You know what I mean? It's our eyes get those prep goggles on. At least mine do. But yeah, I definitely know I can improve. Like I said, the feedback was from Sandy was honestly, she said my conditioning was absolutely perfect. She said, do not do anything more conditioning wise. And then she just said to try to bring my waist in, which genetically, structurally, I've never had a defined waist or an hourglass shape. I've always just been straight up and down. So that's why I'm going to just try to get a little wider and then grow my legs a little bit too, so that my waist looks a little smaller.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
we got your comments here. This is from my man Rolando G coming through. Rolando says, Natalie looks great, fantastic physique,
thank
beautiful
you.
woman.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Also, we got here is my man Michael Boyce says, you look like a power lifter.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I did that 1 year.
you
I
ever see,
did.
yeah, powerlifting. I think a lot of girls can put on when you do powerlifting. You can get full, like people like Angela Yo. She does powerlifting. I know a
Yeah.
couple ladies that do powerlifting. That can put on a little more size on you, but you don't want to be too big. That's the thing. We got
I
here
did
from
it 1 year to put on size. That's why I actually specifically did a powerlift. I trained as a powerlifter for a good year, and then did a powerlifting meet to add size, and it helped a lot. It's just my joints did not like
Yeah,
it.
I can tell you. I can tell you this. I have two bad knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I got a tear in the shoulder here.
Oh
I
yeah.
got issues with here in my back. I mean, years of working. Kids coming up. It's just I played football, a lot of stuff. Especially I'm a big dude, so it's your body will start saying, and just in a few months I'm going to be 50 years old, and I wake up in the morning, I feel like I
Yeah.
just want to just
Yeah.
put me out of the bed. Here. Here we got here from Michael Boyce. He says she is the female oak. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Also, this is from a man Stephen Praise says, "Good luck at the Olympia."
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
and also this is from KL Wonder says, "How long do you work on your posing?" So you have a posing coach who you working with?
No, I've always done my own posing, and that's something that I back in the beginning, I always just got complimented on my presentation, so I never really hired a coach. I'm not going to say it's perfect posing, but I do at least 10 minutes a day, starting at like I don't even know, at least 12 weeks out, 10 minutes a day. I do. And this year I kind of did it a little differently to where I used like I don't know if you know what a Tabata is, but it's like a timer where it's 20 seconds of like you do something for 20 seconds and then you rest for 10. You do the exercise for 20 seconds, you rest for 10 seconds. I use that as my posing. Like I would hold the pose for 20 seconds and then rest for 10 and then get right back into the pose, hold it again for 20 seconds. Because in 2022, um, a couple shows I did, they really put us through the ringer up there. Like we were posing for 7 minutes straight, 8 minutes straight. Jack Sullivan's known for that. He'll put you through like a lot of posing. And it was in Omaha. It was like a full set, almost 8 straight minutes of straight posing for our comparisons. I was dying. I was dying. So yeah, I wasn't used to that. So yeah, I wanted to get my conditioning up for posing at least this year, just in case, because I didn't know who the judges were going to be at these shows. So, and it helped. I think it helped a lot. So yeah.
Yeah, because people don't realize that people, especially those guys who are fans of you ladies and fans of the sport, we don't realize that on that stage you're dehydrated, you're hangry, you're half past dead. I mean, I know I've seen video clips where women faint on stage. I mean, if you were a lady who fainted years ago to Olympia, people need to understand that it's tough, especially for a woman to raise level of muscle. Then you're on stage, you're posing, you have to keep that smile, Yeah, like how my other guy like to say, let's put a smile on that face.
Yeah.
And that is the tough part about it. Folks, if you want to follow Mrs. Wolfe here, her social media stuff is in the description. We're gonna go into her IG, look at some stuff. I know you guys are where you got to look for because I know you guys, you your pervs out there. You love these buff chicks. You get excited about them. But guys, I have a rule for you, and this is for you, Natalie. I tell this every time, verbatim. No D pics. She has a husband.
Yes, please.
You
I will ignore you, block you.
Yes, because I've been doing this stuff. Ladies tell me, George, guys saying some weird shit. I say, what? I mean, that's just stuff like maybe something to make you laugh, something like that. But I wouldn't see my. So
Yeah.
that's not me. I'll see that way. So folks, we're gonna jump into Natalie's IG from it, and this is from here, the Pittsburgh, and this is a video here. And what was that feeling when we told you now going to the Olympia?
Man, I can't even describe into words. I almost broke down. I tried not to break down. Just grateful, I don't know. I think I appreciated it even more because it's been 19 years for me. Than having started winning off the bat in my career, I think I just appreciate it more because I worked my ass off literally for this. So just excited. It's surreal.
Yeah, yeah, it's tough because you know what, a lot of ladies want to get a shot, and we talked about earlier how with the point system's gone, and
Yeah.
you have to win a show. That's I think we mentioned again. That's probably one of the reasons why we're not having so many women competing this year, even women's bodybuilding or physique. The New York Pro had a stacked number of women in figure. I think once those shows, those divisions have fast turnaround. Like you can with bikini and wellness. You don't have to come in conditions as women in figure or women's bodybuilding or physique.
Right.
It's easy the promoters to put those shows out a lot faster. And here we go. Here's more pictures here. This is I think same. This is I think prejudging.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you were there on the stage, what was in your mind? What were you thinking?
Gosh, I don't know. I kind of just keep my mind focused on making sure I'm hitting every pose that I want to hit, the routine. I wasn't even really, I don't think, thinking of anything else except just making sure I hit my poses. And then I almost fell here, even though you can't really tell, but I got a little off balance there.
Yeah,
and I thought my face was different, but that smile is like a permanent smile once I hit the stage.
Yeah, it's one thing you gotta keep posing, gotta move, and smile, and it's like dancing. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. And here, I see the pictures, and this is the man himself.
Yeah,
Chris Sebum.
I swear, my nephew was obsessed, so I needed to make sure I got a picture with him because he would kill me if I didn't.
And this is one of the.
She's from Michigan. Yeah, wellness.
Yeah, and this is our picture. I mean, it was like here you were with two other ladies who competed at the show.
They were amazing. They were great. It was fun. It was a good time.
And here's with the man himself. I gotta say it before. I gotta say this. Yo, Jake. I want that money. I want that pun. Anytime I see it, I gotta say it. I just can't help myself because this man saved women's bodybuilding. I know he's doing other things now.
Yes, he did.
He gave women's bodybuilding a place out to Jake Wood.
Yes,
and you were here it is. I think when Bob announced you winning.
Yeah.
Physique division here tonight. Axton Sledge will be presenting the awards. And if you're ready, Andy, please take the third place check, the third place award, and present it to Samantha Emery. Some beautiful new medals that they came up with this year for the Pittsburgh Pro. Very well done. Please take the second place check, the second place award to your runner-up this evening, Jolene Keith.
This is my mom recording this.
She's so proud, her baby girl.
Yeah.
And for those wondering, that's a very custom Wolfe pack bag, and Andy is holding. We're going to give that to the overall winner, along with the first place award, the first place check, the Olympia qualification, and the title of Pittsburgh Pro Women's Physique winner. Give it up for Natalie.
I know you were happy.
Your favorite pose, please.
Your mom was there, Who else was there besides your mom?
Because my husband actually took it off of work, so.
All right, one more pose, ladies. Your choice.
But he wasn't able to be there, so it was great that she was able to be there for me.
Yeah, I know she was proud of you. You worked hard and took
She's been there since day one. Yeah,
that's good. That's good that you have support of your mom.
She's only missed a handful of shows over the past 19 years. So
Your dad's still around, or?
No, he actually passed away on Christmas Day in 2021 from COVID. We lost him. So he was a big supporter though too.
I can feel that. My mom passed away because of the virus in 2020.
Yeah.
And I was taking care of her. And here is St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
I interviewed Marika a while back. I told Marika, no offense to you, but I knew she was going to win the show. Because we switched her and Virginia to the center.
And I wasn't mad, but I mean, like, she's an amazing competitor. She looks amazing.
Yeah, I think the big thing, she's an amazing lady. She's a single mom taking care of a kid, and doing what here. And also, this is your uncle right here.
Yeah, that's my mom's brother. They ended up surprising me in St. Louis because I went by myself there actually because my husband couldn't get off work for that either. And they live 4 hours from there because they're in Chicago, so they ended up making the drive and surprised me. So I was so excited.
Yeah, you should because, like I said, you worked hard. You got to where you are now, and here's your hubby here, and that's so cute with the little doggies.
Yeah, those are our 3 kids. We don't have real children. We have 3 dogs who are just as bad as kids.
Yeah, and with kids, they go off and grow up and go have their own life. With dogs, you got to take care and feed them.
I know. I swear.
Yeah, and like I said,
real child.
Yeah, and you come a long way. I mean, competing for nearly 20 years. I mean, and it's tough, especially instead again for a woman to hold their own in the sport. As you know, people like I know when you started to get into the sport, what was especially your parents? You were thinking, how they felt when you told them, say, "Mom, Dad, I'm gonna be a bodybuilder."
Right, they thought I was nuts. My dad's biggest thing was like he didn't want me to, like, health-wise ruin myself. So, and that's the thing about having Nate as my coach too. He's like, my health is number 1 priority. You know what I mean? Even from the beginning, he knew, that my health was a number 1 priority. So, and they were super supportive. I think in the beginning they thought it was just a phase, but then soon learned that this was like a passion of mine. So, yeah, they were definitely supportive though, still from day 1, for sure.
That's good to have support family because I know somebody said that, especially when you get into sport, your family don't understand it. Sometimes your friends what friends you have don't understand it. I know ladies told me that they lost friends. Sometimes, and also with your dad, he said, I want my girl to be my boy. I already had, I don't, that's a big concern about it because, instead again, this sport, you change the aspect of what is feminine about yourself. People understand that there's a lot of work to be a bodybuilder. And this is a sport we talk about. It's not a lot of reward to it. I mean, what was the cash prize? I think it was like 3,000 at Pittsburgh. No, it was 5,000. Okay, and and in New York they raised the prize up for the men to 30,000.
Right, females got 5 still. I think females got 5 there too.
Yeah,
I think Sharonica got 5. Maybe not though. I don't know. I thought that's what I saw though.
I think I follow Female Bottom Channel. They posted. I think they get $5,000. And think about it. I think like if you do like someone like Sarah, Sarah, she'll need the money. We just couldn't make Pittsburgh because her little jet broke down.
Putting the money out for these shows, right?
Yeah. And I think most definitely, I was watching some I watch a lot of follow ladies that 6% of the sport is due to women. Women's bodybuilding, physique, figure, wellness, fitness, and bikini. Where you only have the men's open, men's 212, classic, and men's bikini, which I call that's what men's physique is, men's bikini. You make up the good majority, but we all know the truth of the matter is that the men's division, especially the open division, is, excuse my language, is the bottom bitch. And the name of the pimping game, the bottom bitch is the one always bringing the money for the pimp.
Right.
And I think you ladies, you put more into it. And I feel, me personally, just me as a fan, I think you deserve more out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a competitor that wouldn't agree with that. Now, do we deserve the same amount? I don't know. I think we just deserve more than we do get. You know what I mean? But again, it's not. I'm not putting the blame on the promoters. It's just the sponsors. It's like I don't know why they don't want us. Why don't they want to put more money towards the females? I don't know. I don't get that. Because again, like I said, that's where the money comes from for the prize money, So it's tough. It's tough. It really is.
Well, I know there's some promoters that it's often, I got a friend named Big Keith Williams. He's a pro. He sent me a link where Tyler Mine so often.
I remember Keith Williams.
Yeah. He comes out. We do a live stream together. A while back, this is something you mentioned, Keith. A while back, Keith, he was, him and his wife were working with John Simmons. That's Andrea's coach.
Sure. Yeah.
A while back, he knows I'm a fan of Andrea, and Andrea's an amazing lady. I'm a fan of hers. I think she's a beautiful, she's a great look. And he sent me this. And he said, "Here, George, I sent you that." And I said, "Hey, that's my girl." I'm sorry, man. I tell Keith Hands my girl, but I'm calm. He's my brother. I love him, but I tell him, Keith, he just sits and taunt me. I love Keith, but I told him, "But Keith, you're my brother. I love you, but don't put your hands on my girl."
She just guest posing Grand Rapids this weekend. There was a show here in Michigan. So
let me say something real quick. This is something I treasure the most about this. This is why I enjoy doing content. Wait a minute. I had it. Oh, there it is. A while back, a lady who I interviewed and became good friends, Eunice Kitchens. She runs Bad Rap. Eunice was at the Olympia. She did this for me. It was my birthday the week after the Olympia.
Yes.
And she had, and I love showing this off because this is a jewel to me. She had Andrea
autograph it for you. Yeah, that's awesome. There was somebody that brought a couple to the Grand Rapids for her to sign too. That's so funny. Everybody has that magazine. That's awesome. That's awesome. That would be amazing. I mean, look at her. I mean, that's what I think too, though. Look at, she got a cover of a magazine. Sid Gillen is now sponsored by Evogen. Like, there's girls in this industry that are getting the money, getting the sponsorships. You know what I mean? Which I think is great to see. So, I mean, I shouldn't say that we're shunned that much, but prize money wise, I think for the big shows at least, are definitely should go up for sure.
Yeah, I think it should be at least enough where it covers your cost of your travel expenses, your everything else, like your hair, your makeup, everything.
Well, for the Olympia, I think, isn't it Jake Wood that even raised that when he bought it? I think Jake Wood raised those prices. So, like, again, thanks to him, we do have more money than we were getting, even though it's still way less than the men. 400,000, 500,000 compared to 50. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it would be a little better. Like, I think at least Andre should at least get 100,000. Sarah, don't you worry about the money, but still, she can at least get paid a little more because the fact is, y'all put much work in.
Puts out a good amount for her. I mean, they stopped giving the cars away, I think, last year.
Yeah.
I mean, she's already got 3 as it is, so she don't need another one. I don't know if he raised the prize money because of that, or just took away the car. I don't know.
Well, because he was sponsoring, the new show in the Masters Olympia. And they think they had to try to find a way to circumvent a little bit the cost for that show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they took out the car, and there was more there was other things like best video, other stuff that was part of the Rising. But now it's just most muscular, and I think another one, and they just changed it because there was like, as Jake keeps expanding himself and going more into promotion.
That's right. He does do best poser, most muscular, and best video. That's right.
Yeah. We got comments here. This is from my man, balls deep. He says, she's sexy and swole as AF. he says, Schmo gang. And I say that, Also, this is from Moulin G. Wow, that physique is so chiseled. Oh my God! Wow, Natalie, I'm gonna tell you this, and like I said, every time I get a new girl in here, these guys act like they, especially, they just go crazy. He says, "Good afternoon, gorgeous." He's also from Chi-Town. He's from Chicago in here.
Representing very good.
Also, he says, "What up and salute George in the chat. Thank you, brother." He says, "Peace and blessings, beautiful." And he says, "Smash that like button." Yeah. Also, he said, and this from Orlando G says, "You lovely ladies work so hard. You should be getting at least 25,000 cash at least." And also, this is a question that Balls asks, says, she got an OnlyFans? No. I know.
Even if I wasn't married, I just don't have time for any of that stuff.
Yeah, I know, because I know Wiley. It's like this is me. I'm just excuse my French. Those as like OnlyFans, her biceps. Those as we call them in the small community, the beat the meat websites. And a lot of ladies do it because they way to circumvent money. I know you have your gym, your trainer, and also you and your husband. I don't think he would want you to do it, and you wouldn't want to because you're busy. But that's truthfully, it's because because such a fetish in the last few years. I've been thought about it for over 40 years since I was a kid. I used to grow up in the tail end of the Arnold Schwarzenegger era, Lee Haney, like Ronnie Coleman. But y'all women, especially when I became a teenager, y'all just kind of blow my pubescent mind.
Yeah.
You're something different, And if there was, like I said again, if it was like sponsorship helps, like are you sponsored?
No, like Prozis is that they have everything. It's supplement clothes, it's everything. I don't get like paid. I get free product monthly, a nice chunk free product. And then I also have a code with Inspire Brand. It's a CBD company. I use almost all of their products. And he sends a lot of free stuff too. So as far as like making money through a sponsorship, no, I'm not. And sure, it would be nice. But again, this is my first Olympia that I'm going to be going to. I just won a pro show after 19 years. You know what I mean? Like, who's going to want to sponsor me?
Well, you never know, because I tell guys out here who follow these ladies, who are fan of you ladies, if you could just maybe, like I said, a little helps out.
Yeah,
you don't want nothing out of return from it. Just to help an athlete.
In the past, I've had suit sponsorships, tanning sponsorships, like stuff like that. It really does add up, though. I mean, like, the suits are so much money. Tanning is $160 a pop. You know what I mean? Makeup becomes $150 up. So it's a lot. All of that stuff just adds up. So yeah, it is. Every little bit helps. It does. And like I said, it's definitely not a cheap sport at all. Even when you turn pro, like you save on your entry fee. Like you still got to pay for the hotel, the travel, all that stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah. And if you do masters, you have to pay to compete in masters. And that's the crazy part of it.
At Savannah, you didn't, though. So that's the only reason I did it. Well, number one, the only reason I did it in Savannah, I did masters, is because it was the same day as the Open. Usually they do that the day before. And I never wanted to ruin my peak for the actual Open by competing in the masters because you had to pay too. So I never really did the masters. Savannah was the only time I did masters because it was the same day and they didn't make us pay, but you still won the money. So that was nice. I don't know who initiated, like if it was Linda Murray herself that like put up that money because I really don't know. I think it's was it a Wings of Strength show?
It was Wings Strength because
maybe Jake did. I don't know, but yeah. So that was nice. That was very nice that you didn't have to pay. So, and then also like in November. That Clash show, I think it's called Clash, Klash. Amy, bulletproof jewelry. Do you know?
Amy Richardson.
Yes, her husband is gonna be paying for all of the entries for the Masters for that show. So it's gonna be free to the competitor. Yes. Her husband Ken. He travels around and he does the bulletproof, like the jewelry. He sets up the jewelry at the shows and stuff, sponsors a lot of shows now. He is actually going to be paying for the Masters at that show. It's November 2nd, I believe, in Florida.
All right. Is it they have women's physique or they're having the division?
Only for women's physique masters. Yes, he's going to be paying the entry fee. Like there won't be entry fees because he's going to be paying for that. So
well, if you send me the link, I'll post it because I know some ladies who like Melanie Horton, who I know she does masters. A couple of ladies I know who do masters in physique. Well, Melanie actually Melanie switched to bodybuilding, so I might think of somebody else might want to be interested in that. And I remember I saw her at her booth, her and her husband, and I was my first time there. I was thinking about I didn't approach her. I didn't want to be one of those guys.
Yeah, she was a riot, man. I swear, she was a riot.
Yeah, I regretted that I didn't do that, but it was my first time there, and I was kind of like I was out of my shell. I mean, just being around these people. Like I got to meet Annie Vicchio. She was there, and I saw Linda Murray at the front, and I even took a picture with Alina Popa. I talked to a couple of ladies. Yeah, I remember I was talking with Donna Salib. And there was another person there whose name I did not speak on my channel. I don't speak her name. I treat her like Lord Baltimore, because they were working the Wing Strength booth, and I just don't talk about her name, so we're not gonna say it. And it was just a great experience for me to be there.
I think
on my channel we don't speak her name. This is from man Orlando G's picking on me. Says, yes, Andrea Shaw is George's girl. I always respect that. And Andrea's body. Yeah. You know better. Also, this is from Orlando. Says, Natalie, you ladies were blowing my mind back in 1993 when I was picking up Robert Kennedy's R.I.P. Muscle Mag, Joe Weider's Flex magazine, especially. I remember when Flex had that swimsuit issue. Yeah, you still have that.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
I mean, like what? Besides I mean, is muscular development? Aren't they not putting in print anymore? Or no? Are they still?
Yeah, they stopped. I think it was the first this year. They announced they stopped putting out muscle development.
Right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I mean, like, that's the thing too. Like, when I first started, like, I started getting subscriptions to Oxygen, Muscle Fitness, Muscular Development, Flex magazine. I hit them all. Iron Mag magazine. Like, you could get magazines and prints, all of them back then. You know what I mean? I got subscriptions, and I just delved myself into the whole entire world of bodybuilding. Like, that's how I learned a lot of stuff, because obviously social media wasn't around. You know what I mean? Like, the internet obviously was, but not social media. There were boards, there were forums that you went on to learn stuff, you know. So that's just how I learned a lot of stuff, is just through these magazines, you know.
Yeah, I have collection. I said collection magazine collected over the years. Also, I used to remember when first time we got a computer, and back in the day you used to have the dial up. You had to plug it in. You had to wait till my mom was asleep, because if you plug it up during the day, say, "Why the phone's off? Why take the kid off?" And, you know, but you wait till like at 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, you better be calling if you're dead, if you're in jail or something. That's the only time you need to call, after dark. So that's the best time to do it. And I remember I used to go onto these chat rooms, and there were some chat rooms that was dedicated to fans of women's bodybuilding. I remember this first time I was in it, and one guy, he was a moderator, and he was talking about, "Hey, you're new." I said, "Yeah, I'm new." Say, "Yeah, you been a fan? You like bodybuilding, women bodybuilding?" I said, "Yeah, I'm a fan of it." I said, "Well, kid, as an old smoke say." I said, "What is it?" I said, "When you ladies rock hard, we're rock hard." And, you know, it's just the stories I learned and stuff from doing this content and following this sport. And, I'm gonna admit it, yes, I'm a super smoke. You raised to cite me when I was younger, but, just talking with you, women like you and so many other women in sports. I've talked to other women's other organizations, like, the PCA, also OCB, and it's just, you have to have a passion for a sport. And especially, like I said again, there's not much benefits. The money's not that great. It's not like, Keith, he played NFL. He's retired. He still gets a pension from the NFL. When you finish as a bodybuilding, you just, what's there left? You just gotta say, is it worth it?
That's why I think too, though, making sure that for me, my motto is for the love of the game. You know what I mean? I do this because I love it. The day that it becomes not fun for me, the day I don't love it, is when I will stop. But also too, I think because I've taken a smart route and made my health a priority, like, I think that is what has given me the longevity in the sport. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of people that can compete as long as I have. You know what I mean? There's a lot of girls who make transformations like mine in 3 years, but then they die off in 2 because their health is compromised. You know what I mean? My transformation, sure, somebody can make the transformation I made from 2005 to now probably in like a good 5-year span. But then what? You know what I mean? 2 years after you make it, you start having health issues because what you tried to do to get that transformation in 5 years, Sure, again, like it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can hear that, because,
try to make that I could have, I just didn't want to. We've always done it the way we wanted to do it. And again, same thing with like how we look on stage. If I would have asked for feedback from judges, getting feedback from judges, I think, I got it at Pittsburgh because I obviously won. So I wanted to know like what I can do to improve. Those were the Olympia judges. What can I do to improve for the Olympia? But in the past, we've always just come in how I wanted to look, because the handful of times that I always got feedback from judges, it was like always conflicting. Like, one, come in fuller, you were perfectly conditioned. Okay, so what is it? You know what I mean? Like, what do you want me to do? So I was never chasing what they wanted me to look like. I was always chasing what I wanted to look like. And I've reached that point. You know what I mean? That's why I don't think if they were to say like, go to women's bodybuilding, sure, then maybe I would be big enough. But right now, that's not, I don't want to put on a lot of more mass to do that. Because that's just not something I want to carry around then. I want to think about my body after this,
Yeah, because I think your health is most important. It should be, because you only have one body, you have one life, and wasn't that long ago we had so many deaths. I know. A while back I was doing an interview with Ryan Johnson, Dean Down the Spot. We talked about how it's getting so tough. And I think one part of it, I think, is a lot of younger competitors. Younger competitors, they want everything hot and ready
right now.
And it doesn't work like that. This is one more about me. I was like nearly, when I was taking care of my mom who was sick, I was almost 500 pounds. And then, after she passed, I said, what, I don't know how to take care of but myself. So I started, taking care of myself. It's a slow process. And like I said, sometimes I have problems like my knees, so like it bother me, but I was right now, I'm at like a little over 400 now. I was almost just 25 pounds away from 500, but I'm now around 410.
All right.
And that's I know sometimes it's so much you got to sacrifice, especially as food and what you want to eat. And this is a question I want to ask you, Natalie. What was that thing that was calling you after Pittsburgh? That thing that you wanted the most, after that self-long diet?
Okay.
What was that?
So I'm a rare case. Okay, I'm a very rare case because I get a weekly cheat meal in my diets. So I never, even after Pittsburgh, I wasn't even, it's like I don't really crave anything because I get that weekly cheat meal. For any other competitors listening to this, that's not normal, okay? I know it's not normal. I dieted 28 weeks for St. Louis, and then Pittsburgh put it at 30 weeks. 30 weeks. That's why I get a weekly cheat meal, because then I diet that much longer. You know what I mean? I prefer to do it that way because that weekly cheat meal keeps me sane, kind of. Even if it's just one meal post legs, it keeps me satisfied. So it's not like I don't get sushi for weeks on end or a burger for weeks on end. If I were to go for a cheat, though, I do love sushi. Sushi is my favorite, but I do, there's a place here in this town that is by far my favorite burger of all time. So I normally I get that literally every week. It's just a burger. It's got cheese, bacon, and 2 onion rings on it, and that's literally it. It's so good though. But yeah.
Well, I don't eat fish like that. I mean, I used to eat fish when I was younger, but I'm gonna say like this: I've never been so poor to eat a fish raw. But
and that's the thing, though. Most of the rolls that I get are not healthy sushi rolls. Everyone thinks sushi is so healthy. No, the rolls I get all have cream cheese, avocado, and they're deep fried. So, they're not healthy. So that's why
food is both a weapon and a tool for, especially a bodybuilder. The right foods, you follow a good diet. Your husband, he mostly does your nutrition, and that's good that he got your back. And I know there's days where I know it's good that you have those cheat meals, because I know that hangry feeling some of y'all get. You feel like you feel like Frankenstein, fire. It's a lot. We have a comment from a man, Kale the Wanderer. He says, what women bodybuilder you admire from the past or present? So is anybody that you're a fan of, is someone you really follow?
Bev Francis, obviously, because she is the one who really paved the way for bigger women, the look that is now. I think that I used to own a VHS of the pumping iron, the woman one. I loved it. It was so awesome. I lent it out to a friend and never got it back. I'm so mad about it still. But anyways, I would watch that a million times. But nowadays, though, Dre is someone that I do look up to. I mean, just everything, outside of bodybuilding too. She's just a very good, her personality is amazing. She's obviously a good businesswoman. How she balances this lifestyle with being on top of the world for the past 4 years is just crazy to me. And I know Sid's not an actual bodybuilder, but I look to Sid the same way. How they handle being the top females in their division for this many years and can still be so humble and personable is just, I love it. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, and what my other guy was saying about Andre says that, she is beautiful.
She's got a set of genetics like no other, man.
Yeah, I think she's very humble. I mean, people know her, and I believe you talk to her, and what she did, for my friend, gave me that autograph. That really, really appreciate her. I mean, I'm a fan of hers. I mean, some of these ladies I'm fans of. Some ladies I don't like. I respect Natalia as a competitor, but I'm not a big fan of hers. She's been in my live streams a couple of times when I've done live streams and interviews, and I hope maybe one day I get her on. I'm gonna ask you, why is he competing? Keep your butt down.
She stopped this year.
Yeah, I think she just turned 28 this year because she's still young.
Yeah,
I mean, she's not even touched 30 yet. We got here comments this is from my man, Caleb Hall. Says, I love female bodybuilders and muscular women. Yes, yeah. Also, this is from Balls Deep. Says, Planet Muscle was fire. Yeah. I remember seeing the women came out. I mean, and there was I think MSNBC used to have a special where they do women bodybuilding. I think it was Colette Nelson. I think it was Rosemary Jennings and Heather Foster. You don't see too much. Like I remember back you used to catch women bodybuilding on television. Like NBC used to show it. ESPN. Now you watch something like Cornhole.
Yeah, or like the people slapping each other's faces, whatever that is. Like, why is that? Why is that at Arnold? Like, I don't. And
because it's Dana White, who runs the UFC, he has a thing called slap fights, and it's crazy. I mean, hey, if you slap me, we're gonna fight. I mean, that's here we got here. This is from Balls Deep. Balls Deep. Yes, I remember Planet Muscle, and it did go out of circulation. When did it go out of print? Well, like anything, I remember
they all kind of phased out a long time ago, except Muscular Development, and then that just recently did. But the Muscle Fitness is still around, though, right? In print?
Yeah, I think it's still around. It's just not as thick like it used to be.
Yeah, it's like super thin. That's what I thought. Okay, I know I've seen it recently. I thought.
And there was Women's Physique World. That was that was pop. That was like one of the more women-driven magazines. I know a guy named Glenn. He runs them. He's right here in my home state of North Carolina. He's just like an hour away from my stay at. He runs Amazon Fitness.
Yeah.
And I'm a member, and also he interviewed me. I was his first. It was my first interview, and he was great. He reached out to me because the lady I'm friendly with, her name is Marianne Wachowski. She told me, she said, "Hey, check out this guy. He's right here in your home state, and we get an interview, and he's doing good work." He was at the Pittsburgh doing photo sessions. He took a picture of a lady named Jessica Hofstetter, who I interviewed a while back, it's just you got to find that niche in those fan base that really follow it. Denise Messino, remember she had her magazine. It was more like the Playboy of bodybuilding. I mean, I think I got a couple of issues, and I just, but I think print is changing because the internet is getting so big now. I know.
I mean, there's pros and cons to it. I still believe that, but that's one of the bad things because I would still like to see them in print. I don't like going online and reading that stuff. I like seeing it in print. I don't know. That's just me. But
paper's becoming old. Like it's like this. When entertainment, you have to entertain each other with plays and stuff, and then here comes movies. Here comes TV. TV's getting out of date. Streaming is kicking
everybody's
over.
doing streaming. Yeah, that's true. You're right.
I don't stream. I got my TV.
I have YouTube TV, so yeah, we don't have cable anymore. We got rid of cable and got YouTube TV because then I have Amazon Prime and we got, Netflix and all of those.
Well, speaking about YouTube, as you know, she did an interview. She had a couple of interviews, but one interview that I think really interested people. Her interview from Pittsburgh Pro. I sent it to her a while back, and we're going to show the interview. And you guys, this is what tells you about a person, especially after this great experience of winning.
I probably repeated myself a few times in this one.
Yeah, never mind.
It was still so surreal to me that my adrenaline was on 10.
Doherty here for NPC News Online with Natalie Ray Wolfe, who just won the most prestigious women's physique title here in Pittsburgh, over here from Michigan, and you've got a great story to tell.
I do. So this is my 19th year competing. I started competing in 2005. It took me 9 years to turn pro. So I turned pro in 2014. And here we are 10 years later. I finally won my very first pro show, and I'm going to the Olympics.
You beat me to it. So 10 years competing to get the dream of every pro to go and step on stage at the Olympia. So have you processed right now how much this is going to mean to you?
No. It's like pinch me. Keep pinching me.
Now, you've got plenty of time to the Olympia. So what are we going to do to celebrate?
Well, my mom is here with me today. My husband, who's watching online now because he couldn't get off of work, he's my coach, but he couldn't come because he couldn't get off of work. But so me and my mom are definitely going to celebrate somewhere. I have no idea. Right now, I don't even care about food. I don't even.
I bet.
Like I just want to drink something right now. The planet, some Gatorade or something. But
get the fluids back in there. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to? Send a message to?
Yes, definitely my husband. Baby, I miss you here. We did it though. We finally freaking did it. And just everybody online who's just been supporting me, all my friends, family who ordered the pay-per-view to watch, any of my sponsors. So yeah.
Yeah, and you know what's great? And I think, when you say you've been competing for 19 years and then 10 years as a pro to get this qualification, that's a great message to anyone out there who's maybe thinking about quitting or maybe thinking about it will never happen. Like, you're a walking example of what happens when you don't quit.
When you don't quit and when you do it for the love of the game. I love to train, okay? I absolutely love to train. That's what I love about this sport. This sport has given me so much more outside of actually competing. Like, I met my husband because of this sport. We opened a gym because of this industry, because of this is what we do now. This is my life, It's just, it goes into other facets of your life, and
Right.
that's right.
So you got to rehydrate and celebrate. Tony Doherty for NPC News Online. We're out.
That was really cool. I know you should be proud of yourself, and I know your hubby, he's proud of you, because it takes a lot to do this sport. The time you invest into it, the money you invest into it, that money can go to something else. I mean,
Oh gosh.
yeah, and you got to.
He always jokes around like he jokes so much like, I'm never going to financially recover from this. Because like, it is. It's expensive. And
yeah. But like I said, you got to do it for the love of it.
That's right.
Because I know we talked about it. It's not about the money for me, George. It's about the love of it.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it'd be nice. It was like one thing. Like I said, I guess if there's more benefits as being a pro, like okay, you pay this pro card every year, and that's like $200 or $300 out of your pocket.
Right. Yeah.
It should be more benefits. Like okay, if you get sick, you get hurt. Okay, I get something to take care of me. If things that happen, like you and your husband have like you can cover your husband if something happens to him. Where like like with a job, like when I had jobs, I had Social Security, I had 401k, I had something. If something happens, like I remember when I left one of my jobs after they fired me, after they sent me my 401k, I was a good chunk of change. Got put in like 6 or 7 years into it, and those things could help you in the long run, especially when you decide to walk away from the sport. Here we have your comment here from Caleb says there are so many female bodybuilders and muscular women I like and adore. Yeah, I know. My man Balls, he says yes, Lord, and also he says this is check out the movie called Love Lies Bleeding. It's a movie. Yeah, it's a movie that came out. It's an independent movie. It stars Kristen. Kristen, what's her name? She was in the Twilight movies. Also, Monica Perez, who I know, she has a part in that movie.
What's it on? What platform?
It actually came in theaters, but it should be by now already out. It came out in March.
Love Lies Bleeding?
Yeah, Love Lies Bleeding. Just go back and you just follow the girl from Twilight. She's in it. Also, Ed Harris is in it. And if you know Monica Perez, she has a bit role in it. Because it's supposed to be based about women's bodybuilding around about one of the women who started, she's supposed to be a female bodybuilder around about the 80s.
I've never even seen anything on that. That's crazy. Huh.
Well, I'll send you, I'm YouTube, I'll send you a clip from it some later and you can check it out. Okay. Also, this is from, my man Caleb Hall. He says, Natalie Wolfe is sexy and beautiful. I mean, I tell you, Natalie, like the episode of Chappelle Show when Prince meets Nikki, when Eddie Murphy meets Prince and he's hanging with this guy, Nikki Free, and I think Nikki Free's a girl, but he's actually a dude. That's Shalimar. He said, Shalimar got a new girl. She's fine as a motherfucker. And he said, Joy's got a new girl. She's fine as a motherfucker. Yes, she's a fine lady, but she's married, guys. Be respectful. Yeah. Oh, that's the name. This is from a man, Stefan says, Kristen Stewart. That's right. I just remember the girls from Twilight. She was with the boy who's now Batman. Kind of funny. He's from vampire to Batman.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out now.
Yeah. So this is we didn't hold her too long because she's a busy lady. She got a job. She got this, she got that. She got a husband. She got kids, dogs to feed. She don't got kids. She got dogs to feed. That's
right. I food prep for them because they're special. I have a deaf one that's like got a million allergies, so I have to cook him chicken and potatoes. I have a tripod who only eats raw food, so I gotta like portion out her stuff every week. It's crazy. Like my dogs eat better than we do. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I grew up with dogs. Dogs eat some stuff you don't want to eat. So,
I swear.
but here, this is what I will ask you as a competitor. What would you like to see out for yourself in this sport? What would you want out as a bodybuilder as a whole?
You know,
It's a tough one, isn't it?
well, because I feel like I've made it. I finally have. My end all goal was to make it to Olympia stage. You know what I mean? So I mean, I know I haven't been on it yet, but I just want to show. You know what I mean? And that's bringing me there. I told my husband like last year, or maybe in 2022, and I even a few family members I said it to. Like, and I wasn't serious when I said it, but I had jokingly said, I think if I ever make it to the Olympia stage and compete on there, I'll just be done because that's my end all goal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a little realistic. Like, obviously, I know I'm not beating, you know, the top three. It's just, I do have a goal for myself for the Olympia that I'm going to keep to myself, and my husband, but, you know, just to get there has been the end all goal. So it took me this long. So I really don't know what's going to happen after that. But like I said, I won't be done until I'm done loving it. You know what I mean? Because again, I do this for the love of the game. So when the day comes when it's no longer fun for me, or I'm not loving it, or I don't want to train anymore, then that's when I'll be done. You know, as long as my health stays in top shape, that is, you know, which right now, that's what I mean. That's our priority. So,
yeah, I know. Like one of my favorite quotes is from the movie Batman Begins, where it says, "Why do we fall, Master Wayne? Because we learn to pick ourselves up." And you have to really have a love for this sport to do it. And I respect women like yourself, and the ladies I've interviewed, the ladies who I follow on social media, the ladies who I've, you know, admired over the years. You know, it's a lot to be a woman in the sport. You're changing the aspects of what's considered feminine in the mindsets of the everyday person. I know you get the people out there and say, "Hey, this chick trying to be a man," rah, rah, rah. And it's guys that look like me with boobs that's saying that. But you know,
and that's like stuff that, like in the very beginning, like because again, I've 19 years, so yeah, sure, I've seen that so much, but like I've never let it affect me really, because it's like I don't care what you think. You know what I mean? Like honestly, your opinions, nobody's opinions really matter to me. You know, I mean, especially because they're all just keyboard warriors. You know, like so. The negative comments like used to get to me in the very beginning, but then I don't even know when the turning point was for me that I just didn't start giving a shit, but that's what happened. Like I just don't care, you know? So it sucks because there's people out there like that. You know what I mean? That's what sucks, is that we have to deal with that. You know what I mean? That negativity. It's horrible. It's like, why do people even say that stuff? You know what I mean? Like they're miserable with themselves. So I don't know.
Because sometimes it can be a bit about envious. Also, instead of again, you're changing what is considered the norm in society. Like I said, I live in North Carolina. The women around here are a little bit more. We have a little tiny, smaller women, but we have women a little more full figure. You know, they say women like that are too fat, but then you say you're too muscular. And it's always. I remember a guy who I follow. He also mentions how there's a lot of shaming for fitness shaming. It's just, you know, it's a choice you make in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some people who are just, you know what, they don't want to make those sacrifices. They don't want to put in the work because, you know, it's easier to just, you know, I'm gonna pick on that person, you know. But then you have those guys turn around and say like, "Hey, Natalie, I didn't mean to pick on you. I think you're very lovely. I like you." But they get into that tribal gang where they say, "You know what, I gotta do like everybody else." But here, this is what it is. It's like, I guess I mentioned this, and I think I sent you a quote from Rocky Balboa. And it's a great quote where he says in the movie, says, it doesn't matter how hard you can hit, it's how hard you can take the hit to keep moving forward. And look, Rocky's inspiration for everybody. I mean, he took the hits, he kept moving forward, and it's tough. And then, like I said, you go into the Olympia. and you worked hard to get there. People say like, well, she only had 3 girls to pick and one, yeah. But still,
Well, then you
were
should have
there.
did the show. So, because I
Yeah.
could name probably 10 girls that I saw online that should have did the show because they were ready. You know what I mean? But it's like
they're afraid of Natalia's gonna be there. I remember when Emily Schubert, she lives right there in Pittsburgh. I know she's saying she's taking a break this year, but she could have done the show. I know she did New York and then Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think she's taking this year off. I think she's taking this year off.
And I think that probably would she probably would have qualified. But you know what? If you like this, if you're not willing to take the risk and put yourself out there, you're not going to be rewarded. This is for a man, Caleb. He says, keep those muscles pumping and stay strong. Thank you. Also, my man, Balls there said, who trains her? Well, she trains herself, but she works with her husband. They are a team, and like this. Yeah, because people think bodybuilding is not just it may be just a solitary sport, but it takes a team to build that level of muscle.
Yeah, it takes a big team.
Yeah,
I mean, I have a massage therapist, a chiropractor, Nate, myself.
Rest and recovery is all very important. To circumference. But folks, if you're interested in following Natalie, instead of getting her stuff in the description, if you're in the Michigan area where she's at, if you want to work out, train with her, guys, you know my rules. But this is what I would say that to guys out there who follow these women. If you are so genuinely interested in helping these ladies, and not look for anything in return, reach out with a plan, something that really can help them. But you get these guys say, "Hey, Natalie, I'm hungry like a wolf too."
Right. Yeah.
No. This is what you want to say. Mrs. Wolfe, we have a plan for you. So if you're interested in working with me, I work with you. We set you up. I know you think about going to the Olympia. We'll take care of your travel expenses. We'll make sure you're there. You represent our product and our company. That's what really helped in the long run. I mean, those things that come together as to make an athlete go farther in their careers. Money is important. You might well say, people say, nah, money makes the world go round. We all know that, and if these promoters can come up with, okay, better, pay for you ladies, the heads of the IFBB say, let's try to maybe help out our competitors. Here's the second: you're the product. We come to see you. We don't come to see Bob Ciccarello. We don't come to see Sandy Williamson. We don't come to see any of the promoters. We come to see y'all. And I think anything, they should help their product. We have here a comment from a man, Balls, he says, lucky man. And also he says, what do you want to accomplish in female bodybuilding? Well, I asked her that. But like I said, we do appreciate her. And we respect people like her who you've been like this. This is basically what I say, like you had your boots on the ground, 10 toes down, fighting the trenches. And now you're going up to the big show, and you got to go up against some tough competition. I mean, Natalia's there, Sarah there, Zoma Benta, Marika. I mean, Veruca Duca, who's there, just picked up Sharonica Hinton. Then you got the Ultima coming this weekend. I think this is possibly the battle between I would say Susan Graham and Natalia Bostova.
Everybody's favorite right now.
Susan. Yeah.
From what I've seen online.
Yeah. Well, that chick from Russia, she won a pro card at the Remain Muscle Fest. Then did the pro show. She placed 4th, beating out 2 women who just did the Olympia.
Which one is that?
Her name is let me see. I'm gonna jump onto the Female Body channel. I will pull up her picture.
Yeah, I don't know if I.
Yeah, she just, like I said, turned pro last year, and she got a pro card. And this woman, this woman's 55 years old. No, 56. And you
the Shelby Starnes pupper. She got short hair.
Short dark hair.
Yeah. Okay, I know who you're talking about then. Yeah. She looks good. Yeah. She looks really good right now. Yeah.
I mean, she won both women's bodybuilding and physique as a pro card. And if I look at it, I would think maybe her mid to early 40s, but I don't think she's almost 60.
She's 56, I think. Yeah.
56. I mean,
isn't that crazy?
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. We have some comments here. He says, My man says, "What's her next competition? Where she's going to be Olympia?
Yo.
It's going to be back in Vegas, 60th Olympia. I think the reason why I moved to October because that year before, that's when what happened to Emily. She got sick.
October
And then,
11th, I think, through the 13th or something. I don't even know what
Yeah.
day I step on stage here.
Yeah. I think it would be better to keep it in Orlando and just left in this summer, give enough time to really get ready.
October 11th. October 11th is when we go. No, I'm glad it's back in Vegas. I know it's going to be more chaotic there, but like I'd rather go to Vegas than Orlando. I don't know why. I just because it was always in Vegas. You know what I mean? They didn't start putting it in Orlando till COVID.
Yeah.
So to me, it's plus two. I think the biggest thing is that it's going to be the 60th one. You know what I mean? It's a big number for this year, so that's so cool. I think if any year, I think this is so cool that I made it this year. So.
Yeah, that's good. And you feel you accomplished something, and that's a great, I think that's a lot of competitors they want to go to the show like the Olympia. It's the biggest show, Next to that, you have the Arnold, where kick y'all out,
right?
And then there's at the Rising Phoenix, but the Rising Phoenix is the women's bodybuilding part, but you have the Arizona Pro, which is also
I think honestly, like after, because I don't even call the Arnold the next prestigious show, but Texas is the biggest prize money. Then after that, the Texas Pro, and then it's Pittsburgh. I usually say, just because it's Jim Mannion's show. So and also, especially next year because it's going to be a bigger show. So
yeah. Also, you also get Sarah Vickers. I wasn't a big fan of Sarah, but she's really stepping up. She's putting her money where her mouth is.
Mm-hmm, she is,
and she has a look that I think some people say that's the one reason why I think the division is changing because. Her like when she lost to Natalie and then bounced back and wins, I think one thing to say was the judges also, but also I think she's bringing a look that's really very because I remember she was at the New York Pro handing out trophies. She was wearing that short skirt. Her quads were crazy.
Right now they're crazy. I know she got crazy legs. I know, and that may be another reason why Natalia didn't compete this year because she lost the title. Maybe she's just trying to focus on the O now. I don't know. It's just a possibility.
Where possibly, she did that another show after the Olympia. So, but still, we have here from I can't say his name, I'm not Spanish, More Beautiful Impossible. So, like I said, we'd like to thank the lovely Mrs. Wolfe for being here.
Thank you for having me.
This is a quote I like to say for one of my favorite movies, Batman Begins. Says when Jim Gordon says to Batman, I forgot to thank you. He says, you never have to. Because like I said, this is where I got into this one because I was taking care of my mom. She was sick. And she was my woman. I took care of her for at least 4 or 5 years. And I'm almost said about 5 years. And I did this stuff because it gave my mind something to do, taking care of her and her stuff. And when I started interviewing ladies and talking with you ladies, I really started, you know what? There's not enough people talk about y'all. The Female Body channel. There's my man Dave at the Female Body Forum.
Yeah.
There's, Ryan D on the spot. There's also, my man KL the Wanderer. There's not enough talk about women. Talk about the men mostly because I don't know. I'm not attracted to guys like I saw Nick Walker. I'm not attracted to that. I don't. That's
That's what they want. They want those freaks.
It's funny how people talk about. Well, you like female bodybuilders? Are you gay? But why are you looking at dudes in bikinis?
Yeah.
So you calling me gay? I mean, hey, I'm married out the '80s, but I'm still down with the ladies. So so we're gonna let you go. So, and you have anybody you want to shout out before we let you go?
No, I just thank you. I mean, obviously my husband, but because he's my rock, but just my friends, family, all the support from everyone online has just been amazing. So thank you. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. So, folks, if you want to follow Mrs. Wolfe, her social media stuff in the description. Check her out. If you're someone who's interested in sponsoring her, because she don't want to fly to Olympia, but she has no choice. But if you could, if you someone
with a private jet, no.
Talk to Sarah, maybe.
Right.
She's always flying with the little jet.
She's always got her own jet. That's awesome.
Yeah, she always got her own jet. I mean, that's the thing about being a rich man's wife.
Right. Yeah.
But if you're someone interested in helping someone like that, or any competitors who I talk to interviews with, have a serious plan. Reach out to them. Don't be that weird guy. No, stop that. Don't do that. Just have something that these genuinely hits, and don't look for anything in return. If you're someone out there who wants to sponsor a show or maybe sponsor a competitor, that helps out.
Yeah.
Especially the prize money. I would love to see some shows where put up $10,000. That could help out because you think about it as you pay your bikini suit.
Guarantee that show would be stacked.
That'd be stacked. There'd be hey, think about it, not $10,000 for physique and women's bodybuilding and even figure and but we all know it's always going to be the bottom bitch that's men's bodybuilding. So I appreciate my followers and subscribers who come in here. My man Balls Deep, my brother KL the Wanderer, Stephen Prey, Rolando G, Caleb Hall. All you here who watch this, share, comment, subscribe, follow us, support Natalie the upcoming Olympia. Where do you feel like you're gonna place? You think you're gonna hit the top 10?
I mean, it'd be a dream. So that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Ann Moon's not competing this year, and Brooke's not competing. You never know.
I'm just gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best to be my best. That's my goal.
Right.
That's my goal. To be at my best.
That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. So, folks, we'd like to thank the lovely Mrs. Natalie Ray Wolfe for her time. Wish her best of luck. If you watch this video, share, comment, subscribe, check us out. If you follow her on social media, guys, I tell you my rule: no feed pics. Her husband does not like it. He'll stick the dogs on you.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you, man. Thank you. Have a great rest
so
of the day
much,
and best of luck. You're welcome. Anyway, this is my always yours page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Like, don't subscribe. Go have a great rest of your week. And to you out there who are, I think it's the coming weekend is Memorial Day weekend. Salute our veterans. I have 2 in my family, my niece and my nephew, and appreciate these people that are around you and support them. So see you later, folks.